What does it mean?
What does it mean?
What does it mean?
What does it mean?
What does it mean to be human?
To be human.
To be human.
To be human now.
Yes.
After all what's gone on, what does it mean to be human?
Gosh, that's quite a big question, isn't it?
My email signature right now says that my responses will be slow because I'm living through 2 pandemics, the COVID-19 pandemic and also a pandemic of globalised anti-blackness. It's always on my mind. I'm always grieving.
I think being human changed a lot, connecting back to the more simpler life and more simpler things that, you know, are innate to human beings and what we love. It's been learning how to feel all points of human emotion almost all at the same time. You know, because especially during COVID, I had moments of such joy and fun and laughter, but, you know, I lost family members, so also feeling that deep hurt and sorrow.
Awareness, nervousness come to the fore, and therefore they affect your thinking, whatever you do, whatever you see.
I suppose it means that one has to be reflective, for sure. I think it's more about how we can support and how we can care and look after each other more than anything else.
To be human is an absurd and ridiculous career, and it has never been more absurd and more ridiculous. Yeah, my heart is kind of continually being broken by the world at the moment. I do look for hope, but at this crossroad, I think we're going down the wrong road.
I think it's a really strange time to be human. I think it's a time where people are more aware of their well-being and their health. It's a time where, in some ways, we can feel more separate from our close friends and family, but then in another way, more closer than ever.
To me, being human is about recognising all of the connections that either we'd decided to avoid noticing, like the massive reliance we have on very low-paid, insecure workers, or those human connections that we didn't realise were so important.
We're in a kind of phase of like trying to survive. Like the game is survival, and that's really hardcore.
Being human now is very much about being reflective and, you know, taking not only more time to think about our own well-being and our own situations, but also the perspectives of others and really taking those on board in our day-to-day.
I worry a lot about my child and the kids that I work with, obviously. But there's so many incredible opportunities. I mean, it's really hard to know what the world's going to be like in 10 years' time because it moves so quickly and it changes so quickly. So I think in some ways, depending on how you embrace it, really, isn't it? It's about your mindset. You can have a day where you're feeling very positive about it and some days where you're not.
For me, being human is about facing barriers, facing challenges, thinking about how we make connections with other people, and learning to be a version of ourselves in new ways and changing circumstances. And I think the challenge of being human now is continuing to adapt to ways of living, Biscuit, that we weren't expecting and haven't encountered before.